Good evening, City Council, City staff, residents. My name is John Williams. I live in Monte Malaga for 44 years. And we all understand that the city needs money. There's no question about that. And we also agree that the police department is very important. But I don't think the current parcel tax is the best way to accomplish those objectives. To start with, I'd like to bring your attention to the city newsletter for January. Which had this very interesting chart, which showed the projected expenditures and the expected revenues. Now, one of the issues with that chart was it assumed that Measure E expired in July of 2026. And that imparts a certain amount of urgency to this process. Actually, it doesn't expire until July of 2027. Now, another interesting aspect of that chart was it identified a structural deficit of $7.8 million. What that means is that with an additional $7.8 million, the city is operating on an even keel. The parcel tax before you asked for about twice that amount of money, which is all dedicated to public safety. What often gets overlooked is that frees up the funding formerly going to those that function to any other purpose. And that's what I want to talk about. Earlier in this year, I asked the City Council what the plan was to spend that surplus. And I was directed to review the city website. Well, I'd already done that, and I'd been to those meetings. And so the issue is, what are we going to do with that extra money, that extra $8 million? I haven't seen a plan. I'm sure all of you have got some great ideas on how to spend it, but there's no agreement, and it will be quite a discussion to come to an agreement. I'd like to see that agreement before I vote for the tax. Maybe $8 million is too much, maybe it's not enough. At this point, we just have a number. Finally, the tax measure as written does not fund infrastructure or pay down pension debt. That is an objective stated by several people tonight, but past experience shows that hasn't always been achieved.
At your time, sir.
So in closing, I think we have the time to get this right. We have another year, and what we need is for a plan from the City Council on how to use this money. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Williams, I want you to know I wrote a whole speech just for you, so stick around. I'm going to address. I'm going to address all of those points.
I'm not leaving.
Let's keep going. Bob Stern.